Hi viewers, I welcome you all to Deepu's Chem Classes channel. This is purely about chemistry concepts and chemistry classes. Okay, so today I plan to take classification of solids. Classification of solids are mainly two types. That means the types of solids are mainly two types: crystalline solid and amorphous solid. Crystalline solid, if you see the alignment of atoms in three-dimensional view, you can see a definite orderly arrangement of atoms inside the three-dimensional view of crystalline solid. And the arrangement even extend for a longer distance, so it has long range order. While we see amorphous solids doesn't show such regular pattern of arrangement. Instead, it show a irregular pattern of arrangement of atoms or molecules or ions inside the three-dimensional view. And even if it has a definite order, it will only extend for a short distance. So it has short range order. Okay. Example for crystalline solid, you can say the table salt and sugar particles and the laboratory salts we have used in laboratory like copper sulfate, zinc, zinc nitrate or lead chloride, whatever it may be. The kinds of salts we used in our lab, it's no, it's most of the salts we used in our laboratory are nothing but crystalline solids. Then amorphous solids, you can say example cotton candy, and the glass material also you can say as amorphous solids. And amorphous solids generally exist in powdery form also. Okay, right. So let us see the differences between crystalline and amorphous solid. So crystalline solids have long range order. Okay, it has, we know crystalline solids are inside the three-dimensional view of crystalline solids, we can see a regular pattern of arrangement, definite ordered arrangement of atoms or ions or molecules, isn't it? And it will extend for a longer distance. That is actually long range order. Then regarding amorphous solids, you can see irregular pattern of arrangement of atoms or ions or molecules, and even if it has a definite order, it will only extend to a short distance. That is actually short range order. Then the second thing, crystalline solids have definite shape and amorphous solids have irregular shape. You can pinpointly say the shape of crystals like cubic crystal, rhombohedral, hexagonal. Likewise, you can shade the shape of that crystals for crystalline solids. But amorphous solids, you cannot pinpointly say the shape. It has irregular shape. Somewhat it seems to be powder. Okay. Then another difference is amorphous crystalline solids are considered to be true solids. Amorphous solids are considered to be pseudo solids or supercooled liquids. Pseudo solids means false solid. It is called a supercooled liquid means if you see crystalline solids melting point, it takes a short melting point. If you melt a crystalline solid, okay, or crystalline salts, it show a sharp melting point. Okay, for example 120 degree or 1000 degree. Likewise, for example I'm saying, so it shows a sharp melting point. So crystalline solids are considered to be true solids. But regarding amorphous solids, it won't show a sharp melting point. Instead, it show a temperature range. Okay, for example, you can say 120 from 120 to 180 it can melt. You cannot pinpointly say a particular temperature. So that is why it is called pseudo solids. That means false solids, or otherwise it takes a temperature range, so it is otherwise called supercooled liquids. The next difference is crystalline solids are anisotropic in nature and amorphous solids are isotropic in nature. Regarding crystalline solids, if you see the alignment of atoms in every direction, that is in horizontal direction or vertical direction or diagonal direction, the alignment of atoms are different. Okay, so that the physical properties measured along those directions also were different. That's why it is anisotropic. Aniso means showing different physical properties in different directions. Okay, then isotropic means if you see the alignment of atoms in amorphous solids, in every directions, like horizontal direction or vertical direction or diagonal direction, the alignment of atom is same. So the physical properties measured everywhere in every direction is also same. That is why it is called isotropic. That is the phenomenon of showing physical properties in all the directions are same. That is actually isotropic in nature. Okay. Now let us see another difference, definite heat of fusion. Heat of fusion means either the heat required to the heat required to fuse, that means melt a substance. So as I already said, crystalline substance, when you melt it, it takes a particular temperature. Okay, that is actually definite heat of fusion. But regarding amorphous, it doesn't take a temperature, pinpoint temperature, but instead it take a temperature range. That's why it doesn't have definite heat of fusion. Okay, then final difference, crystalline solids have sharp melting points, then amorphous solids have amorphous solids have no sharp melting point. Instead, it take a temperature range. You can say glass material, rubber, for example for amorphous solids. Then sugar crystals, salt crystals, copper sulfate crystal, then copper nitrate crystals, other kind of aluminum nitrate, or any other kind of salts. Okay, you can say for example. That is example for crystalline solids. Okay, thank you all. So this is my first class, so I hope it will be helpful to you all. So if you have any suggestions to improve my class, please comment me in the comment section. Please support me, viewers. Like my channel, share my concepts, and subscribe my channel also. Thank you all.